It's one thing to be confronted with a problem you can fight. Square up and let go. Keep those smaller than you from getting got. It's another when there are things you can't see or understand doing the attacking. We enter the sports field, Jack, me, then Arden, when there's a sudden thump from behind us and we turn to find Arden passed out on the grass. Sleeping, as far as we can tell, but not immediately responsive to Jack's attempts to wake her. When she does wake, she asks about Landon Carey, the janitor, though this seems to annoy her for some reason she won't say. Then she announces, because she always announces when she discovers a clue, that we should be looking for Olivia Marsh, one of the girls who is in Miranda's close circle. We enter the lockers to start investigating proper when Jack takes off her gloves to, read the atmosphere or whatever it is she does, and then she passes out too. I can't fight invisible phantoms making my friends fall asleep, and while Jack is up on her feet a moment later, I can't help feeling that the vibes of this place are just wrong. Not hostile, I don't think, just wrong. Jack finds an arrow beneath one of the lockers, a drop of blood on it and one of the benches, and sure enough, Olivia's bag tossed to one side. We decide to pay Jack's mom, the school nurse, a visit, and while we find out that Thalia is no longer there, we learn that the nature of Talia's injuries, beyond her comatose state, is just a cut to her finger. The two other students that passed out, that Julia mentioned, say that everything was super fuzzy, but they do remember the sound of fiddles and bells and a man telling them to find me someone who is awake. Back at the club room, Jack sits with the arrow while Arden develops photos, and I just have to sit and wait and watch. And hope maybe the next thing we get to do will be a little more within my control, or at least my area of expertise. Jack reveals that Olivia did stab at Thalia with the arrow during the course of the argument that feels too petty for the violence of the action, and when the arrow pierces her finger, Thalia simply crumbles to the ground. Arden says the next step is an obvious one. We should head to Aldine House, where Miranda and her crew make their headquarters. And because I'm the one with the connections to Miranda, I should be the one to go inside. I wanted something that was more my wheelhouse, but not like this. And before I know it, I'm grabbing one of those fancy swords off the wall, even if I have no idea how to use it, and I'm doing what I do best. Squaring up and getting ready to let go. What I am going to tap, I would like to tap Ruthless, because I am going to win.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to tap Indomitable, because I am going to win.
Uh-huh.
I would like to tap Superior Strength, because I am going to win.
Uh-huh.
I would like to tap Determined, because I am going to win.
This is amazing.
Can I sell you on holding myself to a higher standard or authoritative?
Maybe holding yourself to a...
Because my pitch for...
tap holding yourself to a higher standard if you don't tap Superior Strength. Because if you're using your strength, that means you're not just using the fencing sword. You're going to be throwing these girls around, which is not a higher standard. I think holding yourself to a higher standard would be keeping yourself within the realms of fencing, which would not be benefited by your incredible strength.
Okay. So, may I pitch you on authoritative? So, I actually would like to switch Superior Strength for holding myself to a higher standard, but I'd like to pitch you on authoritative because I am trying to assert my dominance.
Sure, yeah, I like that. I am going to tag your weakness, which is we'll say uncontrollable rage, because you're going to be fighting to keep that down, which is going to make it harder for you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, which should right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1. So -1 as well. Total of +4. I think you get to mark attention on your expression theme because I am activating your tag.
Okay.
And yeah, let's go toe to toe. So roll power on a 7 and 9, choose 1. On 10 plus, choose 2.
That doesn't look right.
Okay.
Because I have. Yeah, I have tagged 5, and then I tagged my weakness, but I have.
Yes, so we didn't actually have to put in the -1, and we just have to click the button. My math was wrong.
Okay, we're all good. All right, I'm gonna go toe to toe.
Good luck.
Toe to toe with these girls.
Oh,
wow!
Ooh.
9.
How did I only roll a 9?
2 plus 2 plus 5, friend.
Oh goodness. Okay,
right.
I choose 1. I manage to achieve my goal. I get them good, inflicting a tier power with a minimum of 1 status, or I block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. I'm gonna say, since we tapped uncontrollable rage, I'm not going to block, dodge, or counter.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in inflicting any sort of status, so I'm gonna go with I managed to achieve my goal.
which is you look super badass.
Yes.
You do look super badass. So here's how this is going to work out. So these girls come at you. Arden is kind of playing spoiler, but she's not really taking these hits. You are the one who is fighting. And you go ham. You smack someone's sword and it goes flying and just embeds itself in a wall. You grab someone and throw them into someone else. It's a melee of epic proportions here in Aldine House. Miranda is not the kind of person who sits forward, but she does. And she's already sitting straight, but somehow you feel her attention intensify as you are doing this, and you definitely impress Miranda Aldine. You terrify everyone else. At the end of this, you look down at your sword, and it is just looks like a bobby pin.
Yeah, that tracks.
Jack, while this is happening, you are sneaking around. So let's resolve that before we finish this scene.
Okay, because I'm I don't know if there's stairs to the back or whether I'm having to scale up the side of the building to go in and upstairs.
There's only one set of stairs.
Okay.
So you would have to scale the building.
Perfect. I'm going to tag exploring where we shouldn't.
Of course.
I'm going to tag you dressed like a boy for being practically dressed and not in tight pants or anything like that. Okay. I don't know if I've got any others that I can really justify using right now. So it's probably just those 2. Okay, yeah.
All right. Let's sneak around.
Okay. All right.
9. Hell yeah.
It gets complicated.
It gets complicated. So I'm going to choose one. Someone unimportant noticed you, but that just made them important. You are perceived only by a secondary sense. Or you must leave something important behind or be discovered. So this is... none of these like super match the situation, so I'm just going to kind of do a different thing.
Sure.
So you scale the wall. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
You open the window. That's easy.
Well, the windows were open.
You hear the window. Well, the front window was open, and I guess all the windows are open. You're able to get in easy. You hear the sounds of combat, and you approach Miranda Aldine and Olivia Marsh. And as you get close, Miranda Aldine reaches to her left, grabs the sword from the wall, and points it at you.
I love this very much.
Oh, man.
She just kind of like stands in one very fluid motion, grabs the sword, and it is pointed at you now. And she says, "Oh, another guest. You're Beatrix's friend." Beatrix, you look up and see Miranda is no longer watching you, and you see Jack behind her with a sword at her chin.
God, I wish that were me.
Yeah, right?
I definitely spiked my audio. Jeez. Oh.
And so, in this big old, this thing, you were, panting, sword near, you drop your sword. Miranda is holding one up at Jack. And then Olivia just stands bolt upright and says, all right. Stop it. Everybody, please. I'll go with them. And Miranda looks at you, Jack, and smiles and says, you should rethink sneaking up on people, perhaps. Drops the sword. Not drops it on the floor, but the sword lowers it, puts it back up on its hook on the wall. Well, Miss Poole, it seems you've got your girl.
Not the one she wants, though.
All eyes are on you guys.
Arden just looks a little smug.
Do you take Olivia?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. She comes with you. And says, I don't know, I guess we should find a place to talk about this.
Good thing we have an office.
Yeah. Smash cut to the Journalism Society club room. What does the framing of this scene look like?
Well, I think it's definitely they're sitting across the table from one another. I don't know what Jack and Beatrix normally like to position themselves when Arden is in investigative journalist mode. But she has her notebook in front of her and her pen, and she's just kind of like, I would like to hear the story from your point of view first.
Jack has pulled another desk up to sort of not sit between them, but if Arden and Olivia are at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, then Jack is at 3 o'clock, but pulled a little bit closer, but sat cross-legged on top of a desk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That how she be. Look, I need to very clearly establish that Jack is also not straight, okay?
We go to an all-girls school. I think it's assumed.
Yeah, who is?
Truth.
I don't... It was all happening so fast. It's just... So, Thalia and I were practicing archery yesterday. I was practicing archery, and she came up and just was like, oh, I'm Thalia. better at archery than you. I'm gonna stand next to you and hit all the bullseyes. And I was just getting so angry. 'Cause she was just standing way too close. And just being just there. And so I stormed off to the lockers. And she followed me and was like, "What's going on? Blah, blah, this. And I was angry at her and just, I don't understand why I was so angry at her. And I, shouted at her and I pointed the arrow at her and I was holding an arrow for some reason. I don't even remember picking it up really, but I pointed it at her and she touched it and fell over, and I was afraid I killed her, and so I ran away.
That is such a remarkably boring story.
Arden.
I mean, it's true. I want to know, well, I mean, if you look at, a mundane story. Is that better?
Sure.
I don't know what?
Did you hear music?
No. No, there was a flash of light and she fell and I smelled flowers, but I didn't hear music.
What kind of flowers?
Roses?
Hey, Olivia, this is going to sound really weird, but can I just, hold your hand a second?
Why?
Because I will, in theory, be able to help you understand what happened.
It's safe, don't worry.
Okay. And she holds her hand up.
I'm going to take my glove off and take her hand.
Are you investigating?
Yes.
All right, roll it.
I'll tag psychometry. I could tag the outside perspective. Again.
Sure, yeah, that could work.
Maybe right tool for the right job. I could tag the journalism room. It feels like I'm taking the piss slightly.
I think a +3 is good.
Okay. All right. Investigate.
Woo,
that's a 12.
Nice.
So what's your question?
Why was she feeling so angry?
Why do you think she's feeling so angry?
There's some other influence going on, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Or she's waking up.
Yeah, it's like this. You get a lot of feelings of anger at Thalia for being so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And distracting. And why is she always around?
Mm-hmm. Do I recognize the rush of feelings as I do this? I suppose as being the emotions that I got when I put my hand outside the lockers. Does it feel the same?
Yeah, most of them. The frustration and anger undercut with something else that is unidentified to the person who's feeling it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. All right.
Mm-hmm. And now also a great sorrow for hurting her.
Mm-hmm. I want to see if I can figure out what that light was by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
The flash of light.
Yeah, that... So it's not a thing that necessarily happened for you, but a sort of visible thing. In that flash of light, you see a lot of... It's like mist parting.
Mm-hmm.
Simply put, in game terms. It's the flash of awakening.
Yeah.
A flash of myth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got one more question. Any suggestions?
I'm more curious. I think the only thing I'm wondering about at this point is if, like, she thinks anyone might have tampered with the arrows, or if the arrows just happened to be influenced by her in that case.
The arrow was just the vessel. It was not.
Okay. Yeah.
Not sure what else to ask.
Okay, well then I can just give you something.
Yeah. Hit me with something.
She looks at you and she says, I need to find her and apologize. Do you know where she is?
Yeah, she's at the hospital.
Well, then we need to get to the hospital.
All right.
Which hospital?
I can find out.
When you go, I want to go with.
Of course. Something's happening to you. It's not your fault. We'll be able to make it right.
I want to make it right.
All right.
You do see, like, at the edges of her is, like, images of something else. A hat, the feather, and a cape. All right. So what's next?
Well, I'm going to quickly scurry off to the nurse's office and check with my mum what hospital Thalia's in.
Yeah. You discover that she is in a hospital. She has been checked in to Avalon General, which is a building within the city itself.
Who can drive?
My brother can drive us.
I mean, we could have.
I don't think that Arden can actually drive herself, but I'm pretty sure that if she asked her brother, he would.
Jack possibly can drive. It's more like getting hold of a car.
Yeah.
That is a difficult thing, is to get hold of a car in the 1940s or whatever.
Steal some keys and borrow one of the teachers.
You could. How are you going to get there?
That feels like a very Jack thing to do.
I mean, I will happily just be like, I will hoik a pair of keys on my way back from the nurse's office.
Oh my god.
For just a member of staff's keys, I'll nick a set. I'd be like, okay, we need to leave sort of quickly.
For sure.
We're going to jail.
Nah,
we're not going to the hospital. We're going to jail.
It's only if we get caught.
We're just borrowing them.
Whose keys do you take? Whose car is it?
Oh, I'm going to go to the professor and ask to borrow his car
there you
and
go.
his keys.
Asher something, right?
Professor Ashton Roth.
Ashton Roth.
I'm his research assistant, so, and I will ask him. Actually, no, I might just go to his office and borrow his car keys.
Oh my god.
Incredible. Yeah. You tapping the professor, you taking his keys. What kind of car does he drive?
I don't know much about 1950s cars, I gotta say. It's probably nothing super fancy or anything like that. I mean, you might be paid super good to be a teacher at an all-girls prep school in the early 1950s, but you might not. So...
Yeah, fair. All right. So the four of you get into this professor's car. You know where the place to go. You know how to get there. And do we have any last moments on the school grounds before we leave it?
Nope.
I got nothing.
All right. You steal a car.
For the sake of mechanics, I will. Where was the thing I was looking at earlier? Because this is part of those good mechanics. I'm effectively burning the professor power tag to get us a car. Is what I'm doing, which is fun. Good. I don't know whether it counts as changing the game to get us the story tag of wheels.
No, that's actually perfect, and you can burn it to get an automatic success.
Yeah.
on Change the Game. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so you get these wheels which allow you to leave the school. As Olivia's sitting in the back. What? Yeah, this is a good question. Where's everyone sitting in this car?
Well, I'm driving.
You're
Yeah.
driving.
I would say, like, if Olivia doesn't go immediately for, like, the passenger seat, Arden will just take the passenger seat.
Sure. Yeah, Olivia's sitting in the back, like twiddling with her thumbs. And then I guess Beatrix is also in the back.
Yeah, I was thinking Beatrix would be in the back, like, trying to keep Olivia calm.
Mm-hmm.
As, like, the pseudo-authority figure of the bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see her kind of sitting there, twiddling her thumbs, slightly glowing, as her like brow knits. Before you pull up to Avalon General, it is a huge, imposing building made of dark brick, and as soon as you arrive, you see that something is wrong. There are thorny brambles covering the building, snaking out of windows, weaving themselves around the doorway, and like spilling out onto the sidewalk outside. And as you step out of the car and look up, you realize that it is completely still.
Should have brought one of those swords. Just kidding, don't cut anything. Oh, boy.
A sword, says Olivia.
It was mostly just a joke.
A sword. And she looks down at her hand and like kind of curls it into a fist, and a sword appears in her hand.
That's amazing.
Arden's just like, all right, Prince Charming, let's go save the princess.
It's a very, in her other hand appears a shield with a cross on it. I'm going to share an image with you.
All right, Callahan,
Hell yes.
let's go. Yeah.
I'd like to point out, does that make us Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather? And if so, who's who?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm. So you've got Olivia with you. She is awoken to her own internal myth, and she has got a sword and a shield, and she is ready to help you. Right now, the door is shut and choked with thorny vines.
Do I still have the pocket knife I took off of Tansen?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We got a sword and a pocket knife. This is going to go well.
Yes. Yeah, I think I'm just going to look at Olivia and be like, let's get to work.
All right. Hell yeah. So you're just going to get a +1 on stuff that she can help you with. She's basically just a story tag that you can tap for a +1.
Okay.
So this is probably like just take the risk as you attempt to cut open a wall of thorns. So yeah, roll your power, activate your tags, and then you get a +1 from her.
Okay. Because I felt Beatrix to be kind of a physical powerhouse, I'm going to tap Superior Strength.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tap Determined. Can I make an argument for the right tool for the job?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Mm-hmm. I ain't getting anywhere with these noodle arms.
Yeah. I think that's all I can really tap for this.
Cool.
So
yes, you get that plus, the +1 from her.
Yeah, I've got the +1, so I'm going to take a risk.
Wow, that's an 8. You still have uncontrollable rage. Tagged. You want to untag that.
I mean, that still just takes it to a 9, so it's not.
9,
yeah.
Yeah. So you just and you're able to get through, but that pocket knife is just completely destroyed.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. And she's next to you with her sword, just like slashing into the thing. And you open into the building. It is a strange sight as you walk in. Like mist clings low to the floor as vines snake their way around, and you see just the secretary, the people in the waiting room, doctors along the hallways, all just asleep. Where is she?
I would like to go and access the nurse's records.
Sounds good.
I would like to access private information.
This is definitely a HIPAA violation here.
Yep.
I think everyone being asleep on the job is probably some sort of violation.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, Arden. You're accessing private info. Is that anything else?
This is me being the right tool for the right job.
Totally. And
that's all I got. I don't really need to use a magnifying glass. Unless it's really tiny handwriting. And I'm going to investigate.
Hell yeah.
10.
10, yes. You hop over the thing. You find like the records. She is on the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
The highest room with the tallest tower.
Oh god, are we gonna have to find a dragon?
I've already had that thought. Believe me.
And that's one question. You want to take a second one?
Are we at any risk of falling asleep ourselves?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not. You are awake. You were not here when this curse fell upon this place.
Okay. I can't think of anything else.
Well, you get
cool.
the 2, don't you? So that was it.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
the tallest room in the highest tower. How are you going to get up there?
Stairs.
The stairs, I guess.
How many floors is it?
It's a big building.
More than they used to be.
Does the elevator work?
Elevators? Do they have elevators in the 40s?
Yes.
Yes.
But
no.
elevators in the 40s would... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say my hotel was built in 1880, and the elevator, I think, has been around since the early teens? 19-something? Early 19-somethings?
It's going to be one of those
I'm pretty
old
sure...
ones with the great gate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that in the 40s, though, an elevator would have to be operated by a person who knew how, though.
Yeah.
And that person is asleep in the elevator, and the elevator is also choked by vines.
I figured. Yep.
Stairs it is.
Stairs it is.
Hell yeah. You start to walk up the stairs. There are many floors. And as you begin to move up the stairs, you hear shuffling from above. And like you're going up, you're like halfway up, like you're a few floors up, and a door above opens, and you see two humanoid masses of vines in the shape of like orderlies.
Hmm.
I take a picture of this. This is so weird.
Sure. Who look down at you and like point, and like you hear like the crunching of leaves, but it does not make any like sense as of words as they come after you.
Olivia? I'm just like, I got nothing. I got noodle arms and a camera.
I mean, Olivia is there to boost any roll by one to deal with these things, but she is not like.
Beatrix, would you like to go ham?
You can't roll her own.
Yeah, I can attempt to take one if Beatrix, you want to take the other.
Yep, Beatrix squares her shoulders and does the thing where she cracks her neck for it's one side and then the other.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's she puts up her fists.
Hell yeah.
And I strip
Go for it.
my gloves off.
Great, you're gonna punch some thorny humanoids with your bare hands.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, so I added the +1 for Olivia. I'm tapping Superior Strength, Indomitable, and Ruthless. I'm pretty sure you're going to have me tap Uncontrollable Rage, so I'm going to do that now.
No, I can only do that once per session.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Per weakness tag.
Cool.
I'm going to... Sorry, please don't.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Determined. And right tool for the job.
Yeah.
I'm going to tag Hit 'em where it hurts and Touch of the Grave.
Kick ass. Right,
I'm going to stand out of the way.
roll your go toe to toes.
Do we both get +1 because of Olivia?
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ!
Wow. So Dora rolled an 8, which means that they rolled a 1 +1 +6.
Yep.
Jack Wyse rolls a great success at full 10. So Beatrix, you are going to take a status for sure.
Yep.
But you're going to deal with these things between your two successes, between Jack's assistance and similar bonus. Beatrix, you're going to take level 2 status, scraped up.
How do I do that?
You're going to go to...
Is it on the tracking card?
The tracking cards, yeah.
Okay, scraped up, and then I do 2 pips.
Yeah, 2 pips.
Okay.
And then it's a negative tag.
How do I...
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you just click that minus sign whenever that it would be relevant.
Okay.
Cool. But between you and Jack and Olivia, you just what do you do to these things? These arboreal orderlies.
For Jack, it's like getting in close and like doing a bob and a weave, like proper like boxing style. And what happens is she slaps her hand, like effectively like what would be like a shot to like the side of the ribs if it was a person, and unleashes the touch of the grave. And what it would do on a person, the way I think is it for a second you experience what it's like to be dead. It's like I imagined it like a way to really freak somebody out and stun them. And I think because these are plant matter, it just starts to rot away. It's like this patch of, like it goes really cold and frozen for a second. And as it spreads out, it just starts to crumble like dead winter leaves do. So that's the orderly I got hold of.
I think there's nothing, there's nothing elegant about this. I think it's just like maybe bull rushing one of them out a window.
Wow. Just goes, smashes into plant matter on the ground below.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you just scrapes all over your face.
Yeah.
The one
I got all up in there with the thorns and everything, so...
Mm-hmm. The one that Jack touched, Olivia just slices. And it's dealt with. Very cool. You've defeated the enemy. In this situation. You continue to head upwards when you hear something else. Well, first off, how are you all doing as you're moving up this tower?
Probably a little winded.
Yeah.
I am not meant for physical activity.
I mean, Jack basically does, what do they call it? Urban exploration.
Right.
And parkour and free running by running around on the roofs of the school. So she's in pretty decent shape. Mm-hmm. So she's probably doing okay. I think the situation maybe has them wigged out and her wigged out, and like with the gloves off as well now. I think she's getting like a real like. It's probably just a lot to deal with being in a hospital. Even one that's currently under magical sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I think because Teddy's not here, she's possibly feeling a little bit, like, scared.
Mm-hmm.
So.
How's Beatrix doing?
I think she's definitely, right now she's kind of feeling, I don't want to say it's just like it's a rush, because she doesn't do this very often. She doesn't let herself do this very often, so it's kind of a rush of release to be able to let go for a little bit. She'll probably feel bad about it later, but for right now she's just like pumped.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You're off the freaking chain.
Off the freaking chain. So you are all like just taking these stairs, like running up them, when the squeal of microphone feedback comes through as the intercom activates. And you hear a voice speak. It has come to my attention that there are intruders in these halls. Listen to me, thieves in the night. You will not get what is mine to protect. Leave or perish. And it cuts out.
Well, that's a bunch of bullshit.
I mean, we're not doing that, right?
No.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I don't know if that voice act is what kind of like. Doesn't matter.
It was a woman's voice.
Oh, a moose voice? What?
A woman's voice. Okay. Kind of low and melodic and smooth.
I don't know what that person necessarily thought she would achieve by saying that. Because who actually turns around when they hear that?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's just making the story more interesting.
Nobody's going to believe this story.
Oh. No one's going to get to this published version of the story.
Olivia begins to take the stairs two at a time.
I will be right behind all of you. Olivia's like, Olivia can, take those stairs two at a time. Arden is just like, I'm going to take my time because I know it's going to take me a while.
So yeah, you come up to the top floor of the hospital, and it is even stranger. the brambles still choke every doorway and then snake across the floor. But it's as if it was night outside when you know it's midday. The fluorescent lights are a sickly, flickering green. And the mist is even thicker here, pulling double time to attempt to hide this manifestation of pure myth. In the distance, you hear the click of shoes against the tile. It's piercing and sharp.
I'll take my glove back off, both of them, and put them in my pockets. Flex my hands a couple of times.
Arden catches up.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for waiting, guys.
As it's like it's almost like a maze, like stretches out before you.
And the clicking is coming towards us?
It's like moving around. It's like hearing a minotaur moving through a maze.
Okay.
Let's just head straight for her door.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how are you going to get there?
Quietly?
Walking?
But if it is like a maze up here, is the vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I want to. I've got a thing. Unless you want to go first, Mab?
Well, because I definitely have cut to the truth and enter unopposed to things and logical deduction, and I call bullshit in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, Mab, I thought you were going to say cut to the feeling.
No, my move is cut to the truth, not cut to the feeling.
But Carly Rae Jepsen smiles upon us all anyway. We got a girl with a sword here. I mean,
yeah, it sounds like you're performing a daring feat to just attempt to just charge through this bramble maze, using the power of the force of your will to make it make sense.
Yes. I don't know if charging so much as picking the right path.
Sure.
So what am I rolling?
Take the risk.
Hey. There we are. There we go.
What powers are you activating? Enter and oppose, logical deduction, cut to the truth.
Yes, which is basically my see through this bullshit and get straight to the point of things.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That's a good roll.
That's a good roll. That's a 14, which is
I do it somehow.
Do it somehow. So yeah, you just like, how do you do it? How do you get this
I think a lot of it is that, like, she gets up there last. And they've been up there for a minute or so, like, just taking it all in, but it gives them a chance to be, like, overwhelmed by the vision or, like, the aspect of it, and especially the sound of the pacing. And Arden gets up there and she's like, we don't have time for this. Like, we're not playing into this woman's mind games or whatever it is. And just immediately beelines it in the direction that the room is in. I kind of imagine she taking a breather on one of the floors just means she can also just look at the map layout and just be like, all right, we're going this way. We're not stopping. We're not waiting. Because waiting is how it gets to you, and it definitely sinks in if you take a moment to just, like, panic about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
It's definitely just, here we are, we're going this way. And she's like, all right, this is my element. Logical reasoning. And none of this is logical.
No, this is very much illogical. But very cool. So yeah, so you lead your friends through this tangled, twisting briar maze. Like, you have to go from, like, room to room, like, duck under briars, leap over, overturned carts, until you get to a clear hallway, at the end of which is a single room with a single bed where a girl with strawberry blonde hair lays serenely.
I immediately turn and look at Olivia. Eyebrow raised.
Okay. Olivia begins to walk forward towards this room when behind you, those footsteps come around the corner. And you see a woman with black hair, very sharp cheekbones, and a nurse's cap that is angled in a way that resembles horns. Looking at you, and she says, "You should not be here."
Are visiting hours over?
Visiting hours are suspended. It's dangerous out there, and people need me to keep them safe.
Is someone going to step in, or is Arden just going to be allowed to go snarky for a moment?
I really want to hear you go snarking, to be fair.
Same.
Plus, like, we're the distraction to let Olivia get to the princess.
You wanna do some stuff to deal with this.
I would love to engage in witty repartee with a monster.
When she her voice gets kind of low, like you see like green flames kind of lick around her like teeth.
You might want to get a janitorial staff on all of those vines that are clogging the hallway, because that was definitely very unsafe.
She begins to walk towards you.
I stand my ground.
Fantastic. Face danger, my friend.
So I would like to spend my help die
I'm so glad
with
you
Arden.
that.
Me too. To kind of like stand shoulder to shoulder with Arden, with my hair like fallen out of the artful arrangement that she'd put it in earlier, and like and a really badass anime cut on one cheek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Dang. Because I don't think indifference to emotions counts here. Unless this is me. The emotion is fear, and I'm just saying no. Not today, Satan. Other than that, I don't have, I would have that 1+ from Beatrix. Yeah, I really can't think of anything else that would work, because I've got nothing for this.
All right, cool.
Because I don't think logical deduction and cutting to the truth is going to help here.
Well, you never know. If you could sell it.
I mean, it is just. I think, her using it is really just, it boils down to her seeing through. I don't know if this counts as her being able to like see through the mist or just ignore it. But
Mm-hmm.
I know she said don't let yourself get caught up in it, but I think she's getting herself get a little caught up in it.
Cool. So yeah, face danger with what was that, 2 total?
Do you mark something for me?
So because you get +1 from her, do you not have any tags?
I mean, like, I really don't think cut to the truth or would work, because I don't. Go ahead.
I can pitch you on how cut to the truth could work. Because you've got your analytical mind, you could be reading her body language to figure out what she's going to do.
Sure. Yeah.
Like Sherlock Holmesian, like in the RDJ Sherlock Holmes, where he looks and he's like that.
They're calculating the whole during the boxing match.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
right.
All right.
Face danger. I got a 5.
Oh no!
Woof.
So you take the level 2 status tag, Scorched. As this woman, like, her mouth opens as she says, "Leave!" And just a gout of sickly green flame shoots out, and you get hit by it. It's magic fire, so like the scorching would not take as long to heal as it would be otherwise. But yeah.
Yeah. That definitely catches her incredibly off guard.
Mm-hmm. You see this woman's like face begins to, like, her skin begins to sort of flake as like black scales begin to appear on her skin, on her face and on her arms, and she like contorts her hands into claws as she comes towards you, continuing. What is Jack and Beatrix doing?
So Beatrix, I feel like, is about to lose her shit.
Yes, good.
Like she doesn't even say anything. It's just kind of like a guttural noise before she just charges at this morphing woman.
Cool. Going toe to toe?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's do it.
So, I'm gonna tag everything on my expression card, and I'm going to tag determined because that's my friend that she just hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still get a +1 from Olivia?
No, Olivia is otherwise indisposed.
Okay, cool. So I think...
Right tool for the right job?
Am I the right tool for the right job?
Well, of all of us, you're probably the best equipped to fight somebody.
Yeah.
True. So, yeah. So I think that's what I'm gonna tag.
Cool. I think she is...
Oh, wait, hang on. I've gotta... How do I...
How do you what?
Oh, no, that's not right.
Do you want to reset it and set them all off again?
Okay, no, I'm trying to use the scraped up tracking card, but I can't figure out...
You click the little minus sign.
I don't see a little minus
It's
sign.
right at the bottom of the card, bottom left. In the red bar.
It's just not loading. Like, I only see the plus sign, but I mouse over it and it's there, so...
Oh, okay, cool.
Weird.
Say if you
Yeah,
go up to your power card, you can just do minus.
I clicked it for you. You're good.
Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna go toe-to-toe.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Even with your minus
yes.
2. Hell yeah.
I rolled a 14. So I think I'm going to
So remember, inflict a status equal to power. A status is basically damage. So if you want to like do damage to her, that would be inflicting a status.
Yeah, so I think because I'm in the throes of my Dr. Jekyll or my Mr. Hyde, I don't think I'm going to block, dodge, or counter. I think I'm pretty reckless, so I'm going to achieve my goal, which is like to get her away from my friends, so bull rushing her again. Or again, I am bull rushing, I'm not bull rushing her again. But and I would like to inflict a status, which has a tier of 3 because my power for this roll was 3. Could I do I get to choose the status, or do you get to choose the status?
Sure, you can choose the status.
Can I do banged up?
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah, so you describe this fight between you and this dragon woman.
So I bull rush her. to get her away from my friends and also away from Olivia and Thalia. I think maybe there's like a trolley of medical equipment that I send her toppling back over as I'm punching her.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, I follow her down, so I'm on the ground with her. Which is how I open myself up to whatever attack she's gonna do to me.
Yeah, so what it's gonna be is you would take the tier 2 status sliced, but because you already have a tier 2 status that's about it, you're gonna just put 2 more pips on your tracking card for that, which takes it from tier 2 to tier 3.
It is
to be
not
lacerated.
Okay. Cool. I don't know why it's not letting me interact with the tracking cards.
I don't know, that's weird.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so basically you're just going to end up with a tier 3 status.
Okay.
So, worse for you. You don't go unconscious until 4, but you're, hurt.
Yeah.
Good thing we're in a hospital.
Sorry, I rolled somebody who is reckless.
Don't be.
No, you're
Good
great.
shit.
It's good because I am not.
So yeah, you get this fist fight with this lady, and she she's slicing you up. You get a couple good shots in on her, and she opens her mouth to speak when there's a shockwave of just light throughout the building. As the visage of the black stone and the green lights kind of flicker and begin to melt away. You see the thorny brambles that spread across this place begin to flower with roses. And you all look back to that room at the end of the hallway and see from behind, so you can't really see anything that's happening, but Olivia is leaning over Thalia's hospital bed as things begin to sort of crumble. Beatrix, this nurse, her name is Margaret Fleischer, by the way. You see her name tag as you're struggling with her, throws you off of her and runs down the hall as the myth begins to seep out of this place, and the force of the mist flows back in. And Thalia Thyme opens her eyes.
Yay!
Woo!
Yeah, all across the hospital, people who had passed out begin to open their eyes. Just a real strong funk of confusion hangs over this place.
That midday nap feel. What's it?
Oof.
What are you doing?
I think Arden just kind of sits down in the middle of the hall with very heavy, oh, okay. What just happened?
I'm gonna, on glancing to see that Olivia tell her, oh yeah, no, they're fine. I'm gonna just give them some privacy to
Yeah. Just
talk.
Subtly close the door.
Subtly close the door. I'm gonna rustle up some bandages and start patching up Beatrix.
Cool. Well, you solved the mystery, basically. So now it's just epilogue time. What's going on? What's happening now? As you're kind of just relaxing and taking your breath back.
Is this a cut to, or is this epilogue here at the hospital kind of vibe?
Either way. Whichever you want to do.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Please.
Go right ahead, Dora.
Please go.
So, I think, for Beatrix's epilogue, it's probably like a week or two later. Maybe she's still got a couple of bandages on her, but she's at the Aldine house with one of those whittled chess pieces, maybe the queen, and she's like about to knock on the door.
That's some good gay shit, Dora. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Olivia and Thalia are able to return back to school easily enough. Now that Talia's awake, everyone's just like, oh, weird. You were asleep for a day. Well, I guess that's teenagers.
Probably
Puberty.
overworked yourself.
Mm-hmm. All that club activity.
Yeah. Arden definitely, into the paper, puts a very watered down version of the story that was basically just like, oh, there was a gas leak, and she, Thalia overworked herself combined with that, and it's just like, oh, I hate having to publish this, but no one else would believe the real story.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, keeps a lot of the details in her own little private journal.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jack's epilogue is getting busted trying to put the keys back. I think she gets the car back fine, not a scratch on it. But like she like gets the keys back in the desk, turns around, and there's Professor Roth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know whether, because it's funny, but also I feel like there should be some and it's like that he shuts the door and there's just like the explanation going on, because I like that there's clearly something odd about Professor Roth. I've purposely not established any mythos or anything with him, but I feel like there's a conversation that like the camera doesn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it ends and just like, you do not take the car keys again. And like, but yeah, Jack's sort of quiet, and maybe that's when Teddy appears or something. I don't know. He's been AWOL, because one of the weaknesses is that sometimes he just can't be there. So.
Oh, I just flew back from the shores of the Styx, and boy, are my arms tired.
You're not funny.
Hell yeah, I'm funny. Are you kidding me?
No, you are desperately unfunny, as you have always been.
Oh, well, too bad. Well, my arms are tired, so you're going to have to carry me around and just leaning on you.
Your pain. But like, sort of can't quite do it in public, but also there's like the vibe of wrapping an arm around him as they walk off.
So did you say you did save the thing? Did you do the mystery?
We did a thing.
Hey, that's always good.
Yeah. Man, everybody either has a girlfriend or is getting a girlfriend.
Excuse you.
Do you need me to be a wingman?
How is that even going to work?
I don't know. I can fly.
Well, in that case, maybe you're literally kind of a wingman, but aside from that...
and as you're talking with your brother, you look up the hill where you see an old man with caterpillar eyebrows and extremely pale green eyes and blue coveralls look down at you and like nod and then blow away into sand. Man, what's that guy's deal? Huh? And that's the end.
That's the end.
Yeah!
Yay!
We did it!
We did a game.
That was City of Mist.
Oh,
I
God.
meant to reread the rules, and I only skimmed them. So I definitely could have more masterfully ran that mechanically speaking, but that was fun, right?
We did a
Fine.
good
Yeah.
story.
I didn't know the difference.
It's great. Good fun.
I was like, yeah, I don't remember. I was like, I remember reading the rules once.
And thus ends Case 1 Once Upon a Dream.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shall we do a heckin' outro? Do we do the end of session moves?
Oh, yeah. Geek out of the credits for sure. At the end of the session, when the credits roll, go around the table. Each player can answer one or more of the following questions. How has the crew grown this session? Recover burnt crew power attack, or mark attention to the crew theme. Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session? Add 1 health point or 1 hurt point next to their name on your character card. And which of your themes is under the most strain? If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place? Write down the answer under flip side on that theme's card.
Hmm.
Hold on, what page was that on?
It's on page 2 of the player moves PDF. If you've got that.
No, I've just got the whole guide open because.
And I don't know.
Don't I have the other? Hold on, that other one's on my desktop. Here we are. There we go. Oops, that's better.
I feel we grew like we did something as a team. Everybody got to use their skills. We got to infiltrate a clubhouse poorly, but with great narrative effect. We got to play 3 good fairies to Prince Charming.
That was fun.
That was very fun.
That was right. I love that. Arden is Merryweather. I will accept no further questions at this time. So, mark attention on a crew theme, I guess. Nose for trouble. We definitely got involved in something we didn't really need to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And we all did the right tool for the job several times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we work as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool. What outro do we do? Do we do an outro?
Yeah, let's do an outro. We outro.
Yeah.
You have been listening to the cast of Follow the Leader on our Patreon. I have been your Master of Ceremonies, Zachary Fredrickson. You can find me on Twitter at ObfuscatingGod, and the music I do at iambugbear.bandcamp.com.
Oh, I'm next.
Yeah.
Do you want? I was like, no, I'm next.
No, I was about to say you're next.
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to that. My name is Mab. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Little Lady Mab. If Gen Con's still on, find me there running games. Yeah. Come play some games.
And I am Jade. You can continue to find me at Jade Oxford Rose on Twitter. I nearly said Jack Oxford Rose on Twitter. I've gone deep. I'm too far in character. Somebody help me.
And I've been Dora. You can find me on Twitter at HarpyDora. That's all I got.
Thank you for supporting our Patreon if you're listening to this episode, and if you are listening to this episode through the good grace of somebody else's Patreon, please maybe consider supporting us so we can do more of these Patreon exclusive games.
We have tiny levels. Come support us at our tiny levels.
Yeah, we have stuff planned. We're plotting. There are things coming.
By the time you hear this, hopefully
coming.
we have started instigating those plans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's clap. That's
Yeah.
the thing we do.
Let's
Yeah.
clap. Let us refresh time.is and clap on the minute.
On the minute.
Sounds
Yes.
good.
Oh shit.
That was so bad.
That was extremely bad. It was long enough that I forgot. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it at 15.
15?
Yeah.